How my father's decision to marry another wife almost destroyed our family. Growing up, I believed my father was perfect. We weren't that rich, but we had enough to eat, a roof over our heads, and parents who seemed to love each other. My mother was the kindest woman I've ever known. She sacrificed everything for us, while my father was respected in our community as a hardworking man. For years, life was peaceful. Everything changed the day my father announced he wanted to marry another wife. We never knew he was dating this lady. We never knew. My mother did not know anything about this lady. At first, we thought he was joking. My mother laughed nervously, expecting him to laugh too. Instead, he looked at all of us with a serious face and said, I've already made up my mind. The room fell silent. We looked at my mother. Her smile disappeared. Tears filled her eyes, but she held them back. She didn't argue that day. She simply stood up and walked into her room. That was the beginning of the end. A few months later, my father brought his new wife home. She was much younger than my mom, acted as if she had won a great prize. At first, she pretended to be peaceful, but it didn't take long before her true character began to show. She wanted everything to revolve around her. My father, who had once been fair and loving, suddenly became a different man. Every decision favored his new wife. The money that was supposed to pay our school fees was now being spent on expensive clothes, jewelry, and building a new house for her. We started struggling. Some days my mother would pretend she wasn't hungry so my younger siblings and I could eat. She could smile and say she had already eaten at a neighbor's house, but we knew she was lying. I watched my strong mother become weaker every day. The new wife wasn't satisfied with having my father's attention. She wanted to push us out completely. She constantly accused us of stealing things we had never touched. She insulted my mother at every opportunity. Sometimes she would deliberately cook delicious meals for her own children while we watched with empty stomach. Whenever we complained to my father, he refused to listen. Instead, he shouted at us. You people are jealous, he would say. I couldn't recognize the man who had once carried me on his shoulder. Soon, our once happy home became battlefield. Every morning began with arguments. Every night ended with tears. The peace we once enjoyed disappeared completely. My older brother eventually dropped out of school because there was no money to pay his fees. He started doing manual labor, just to help us survive. Also took small jobs after school to support my mother. Meanwhile, my father's second family lived comfortably. As years passed, the competition between two households became worse. Relatives picked sides. Some supported my mother. Others encouraged my father, saying a man had every right to marry as many wives as he wanted. So, no one cared about the children caught in the middle. One day, everything reached its breaking point. My father sold a piece of family land without informing my mother. That land had belonged to my late grandfather and was meant to provide for all of us. The money disappeared within months. The second wife convinced him to invest in business that failed, one after the other. Before long, debt began piling up. Debt began piling up. The same relative who had praised my father suddenly disappeared. Friends stopped visiting. Creditors came to our house almost every day. The man who once walked proudly through the now avoid people because of shame. His second wife, who had always encouraged him to spend recklessly, changed too. She started disrespecting him. Whenever there was no money, she insulted him and compared him to other men. Eventually, she packed her belongings, took her children, and left. She didn't even look back. My father was devastated. He finally realized he had sacrificed a peaceful home for temporary excitement. When he came back to my mother, he expected everything to return to normal. But years of pain cannot disappear overnight. My mother wept on him with respect, but not with the same love she once had. Too much damage had been done. Our family had missed birthdays, graduations, previous moments because of endless conflicts. Trust had been broken. Though we eventually forgave him, the scars remain. One evening, my father gathered all of us together. With tears in his eyes, he said, I thought having another wife would increase my happiness. Instead, it almost destroyed everything God had given to me. I lost peace, respect, money, and nearly lost my children. If I could turn the back of time, I would choose my family over everything. Hearing those words brought tears to my eyes. His apology could not erase the past, but gave us the chance to begin healing. Polygamy itself wasn't what destroyed our family. It was the favoritism. selfishness, lack of fairness, and broken trust that followed my father's decision. Our home eventually found peace again, but it took years of forgiveness, sacrifice, and healing. The greatest lesson I learned is that a family is built not just by love, but by commitment, fairness, and the daily choice to protect the heart of those who depend on you. Sometimes one decision can change the course of an entire family life forever.